little black birds about so big. They got yellow and red around the neck part. Then we have the orange-footed scrubfowl, he's about so big. Brown bird all over the body with short orange foot legs. Yes, so they're probably the most common birds we'll see. Most other birds will probably just be hearing them, not necessarily seeing them. And I'm not too good at spotting birds, but eventually, hopefully, I'll try and remedy that. I know a few birds, but not all. We do have a few snakes in the rainforest as well. Most snakes here are non-venomous, but we do have the red-bellied black. He's considered to be in the top 20 of the most venomous snakes in the world. But his bite is basically, it won't kill you, but it'll make you pretty sick. And it is a bit of a walk to the hospital, so... Yeah.
Lucky we got the bus here.
Yeah. And also, folks, we do have cassowaries in the rainforest here. For those of you who don't know, cassowaries are large flightless birds, only second to the ostrich. Females can stand up to about 2 meters tall and weigh about 60 kilos. If we do come across a cassowary in the rainforest here, I'm just going to ask everybody here to keep nice and still, nice and quiet. If he does stop and decide to start running, he's obviously going to charge us. That's why I got the stick. I'll try my best. But if this fails, I'm only left with two other options, and that's either to run or climb a tree. So hopefully we can still climb trees.
Well, we have an option to throw you at the bird.
Yeah, I'll run and I'll create a distraction.
Well, you did have.
Yeah. And also, folks, the track is relatively easy as well. We will go up a few rocks, climb up a few small hills, taking a few steps up. So we do have guardrails there, so just try and use them if you wish. Just if it has been raining early this morning or late last night, which it hasn't, the rocks might be a bit slippery, so just watch your footing as well. Other than that, let's go for a walk, eh?
Thank you. Thank you.
So if you got any questions, feel free to ask. They have their own distinct taste. Because they're birds like that, they have a very similar taste to turkey. Yeah. Like a ready meat, very gamey. Alrighty, folks. Well, basically, this is our typical living arrangements in the rainforest here. These are our huts. We call them gunyahs.
What's that flashing thing?
The material we use for these huts here. This is the Waiter Wild Vine, warrior cane. We tie it down naturally with hibiscus bark. Originally, all our huts were made out of palm fronds. But then we discovered paper bark. This one here, very versatile material. We get this from the coastal area, or swampy area. We don't find this in the rainforest here. Like I said, we use this as a covering. Pretty waterproof, so it won't let too much rain or wind in there. You can also put it on the ground there, so we're off that wet ground. If it is wet, we also use different types of grasses. We'll put down and put the paper bark on top of that. Some of the paper bark we can get is pretty thick, about an inch thick, nice and comfortable. So you're laying off the ground there. If the wind and rain starts blowing a bit too heavy here, you can grab a couple of these here, big sheet of bark, and put them up, act as doors, won't let too much wind or rain in. Also, paper bark, when this is nice and dry, it's very easy to start a fire. Rub the two sticks together, get a bit of an amber going there, blowing on it with this one here, nice and crushed up, fire will start straight away. Fire was used for warmth, protection, light, and cook our meat. And also we do a smoking ceremony with the paper bark. Basically smokes the body down when you're entering into a new country, new land, put a protective barrier around yourselves. Also this was used, we had no plastic or steel back in the old days. Couldn't carry water around very often. So what the old people did, the ladies especially, they built baskets, dilly bags. They would put this in the basket, line it all around.
Bird's back.
Go down to the running water there, scoop it up. That's their bucket. They can hold that water for as long as they want. Also, some of the paper bark trees get pretty tall, like tall as this tree here. So what they would do is if a person died, they would climb the tree, cut a length of it, ring bark it almost. When you take the paper bark off the paper bark tree, it doesn't kill the tree. So basically you take your bark off as high as you want, 2 or 3 meters. Person dies, they were wrapped up in the paper bark. And either buried or put into caves and stuff like that. If they were from the water, they would have been put in the water. If they were from the rainforest, they would have been buried in the rainforest. Also, with that paper bark as well, nice long length, say about 4, 5, 6 meters of it. The ends were tied up. They used a special tar, a resin, gum resin, and made a canoe out of it. Floatable, floats in the water. So that's your paper bark. Yeah. Like I said, yeah, it gets pretty thick. You get multiple layers of it.
Is that the paper bark from the Melaleuca?
Yeah, from the Melaleuca, yes, exactly right. Yeah, definitely, yeah. There's a lot around Palm Coast, yeah. And with our huts as well, folks, we live roughly in this area probably about 2 to 3 months of the year. Because we are semi-nomadic, we move around with the seasons. We recognise 5 seasons of the year. Basically what's happening now is we're just coming out of our cold time. We're going into our hot time now. Hot time, then you have your storm time. Then you have rain, full-on rain time, heavy rain. Then you have your floods. And then you go back to your cold. And your hot again. 5 seasons we recognise. You go to Northern Territory, they recognise 7 seasons. It all depends on the season.
You seem so westernized. Are they all like you?
Pardon?
You seem very westernized.
Yeah, well, I was fortunate enough to, well, my father's Spanish. So I've been kind of brought up in both societies, Western society and my Aboriginal society, so yeah.
But are they like you or not? You're exceptional.
Yeah, I'm an exception. Nah, yeah, they are starting to, we are starting to get more people into universities and stuff like that, getting their education now, so which is really good. But yeah, I was fortunate enough to be schooled in Cairns, and then basically after my schooling, well, I left at year 11 because I went straight to work. Yeah. I've been doing this for 15 years now. Been involved with tourism for 15 years, so I love it. It's a part of me. It's who I am.
Now, is your family like you as well?
Yeah. I have 3 elder brothers and 1 younger sister. But my 3 brothers don't look exactly like me. They're short. They've got my father's side. I throw back to my mum's side. I'm the black sheep of the family, basically. No, true, I am. Yeah.
Have you got children?
Yes, I have 2 young daughters. I have a 10-year-old and a 5-year-old. Actually, 11.
So do they come out and live here with you? You say you did 3 months out of the year?
Yeah. We don't live like this today, no. Yeah, but back in the old days, yeah, living would have been like that. We are kind of modernised now, so I live in a brick home now. It's a lot more sturdy in the cyclones. Yeah, like I said, we are semi-nomadic. We go around with the seasons. We follow the animals. The reason why we follow the animals is it's our food. Yeah. And they have a sense about them, of sensing anything to do with the earth, nature. They have a sense about it. When Cyclone Yaki came through about 2 years ago, one of the biggest cyclones in Australia's recorded history. Up at our new tracks there, we're doing a bit of work on the tracks. We noticed that all the termites flew out of their nest up into the hills. 2 days later, the cyclone hit. So they know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's why we study the animals. That's why we do the animal dances a lot. Most of our dances are depicting animals because we study it. We have to know what that animal's going to do at a certain time of the year, what tree it's going to be under, whereabouts it'll be situated. And the more we study it, the more we are like that animal. So when we go hunting it, we know its every move. It makes it a lot more easier to go hunting.
What do you hunt? What do you hunt?
Basically anything that moves.
Look out.
Yeah.
And what are your weapons you can use? that?
One of our main weapons we use in the rainforest is our spears. We utilize any straight piece of wood in the rainforest here. Like this one straight behind us here could potentially be our next spear. It's got the length on it, it's nice and thick. So basically cutting that down, we can sharpen that tip up there, or we can put a spear tip in there. We tend to make the spear tips long, especially for the big animals, because what happens is it'll break off into the animal, causing it to have a splinter. It slows the animal down a bit, then run behind it, knocking it out with a hardwood weapon. You have to be one with the weapon as well. You could not just go and just torture that animal and kill it. If you could not kill that animal in one hit, that weapon was actually taken off you. You had to go ask someone else for their weapon and go train yourself on how to do it properly. We weren't cruel people. We showed great respect for animals, for everything around us. We didn't claim to own the land, we lived by it, by its rules, by its laws. We call this rainforest here Madja. Madja means boss. He's the boss of us. We don't own it, it owns us. We are very spiritual people in the rainforest here. We believe in the spirits of everything around us. All humans have a spirit, all animals have a spirit. This tree has a spirit. The water running down is a spirit in itself. When we cut this tree down, when we kill an animal, we sing to that animal. We talk language to it. Thank the animal for food. He might give us a bit of protection for fur. The bones we used as weapons. The only thing we wasted on an animal was the blood. The blood we put back into the ground. Where we all come from. Cut a tree down, we thank that spirit of the tree. Thanks for the wood. Thanks for, we're going to make a canoe out of you. We're going to make artifacts, we're going to make weapons. It makes everything balanced, basically. So yeah, basically spears were our main weapons. We had a particular type of boomerang. The boomerang wasn't a returning one. Basically it was just a piece of stick. Something similar to that there. Didn't return. If we use a returning boomerang in here, too many trees. One come back, we call it a stick. So with this one here, it's thrown in a flat motion, it just hovers above the ground. You're looking at going for the knees of the animal, if not, going a bit more higher there. The returning boomerangs were basically used in an open area for flocks of birds. You see a flock of birds flying past, simply face the same direction the birds are flying, throw your boomerang, it's going to curve back onto them. We also have the X boomerang and the Y boomerang. All boomerangs used for flocks of birds. X and Y has more points on it, more spinning. So when it spins, it'll hit one bird, it's not going to stop. It'll keep spinning a couple more times, so you've got the opportunity to hit 3 or 4 birds with that one boomerang. And how to throw our spears, basically first one here in the middle, the Dublin style, and the animals on the ground like snakes, goanna, scrub turkey. You go fishing, hold it with the fingertips. Walking along the riverbank there, or out in the water there, spot the fish, fire away. And there is another one that we use. It's called a woomera. It's basically a piece of stick that's got a fork on the end.
Like a pitchfork, huh?
Yep, so you look at a piece of stick like this here, there'll be a pin coming back. So what you do is you put your spear in the end. It gives your arm extension. It's like having 2 elbows. So when you throw your spear, you're going over, flick your wrist, spear goes, you're holding onto your woomera. You gain that thrust and you gain that power. I'm actually recognised by the Guinness Book of Records for breaking the old record of 119 metres. I threw 131 metres with the aid of the woomera, but the world record is 148 metres. So I missed that by a bit. This one here is basically, this is a message stick. The message stick was used by people going on initiation. Basically, sometimes when you do initiation, you have to do your boundary line, do your whole trip around, so you know your boundary, your area. Or sometimes the message stick was used by runners, say they had to go up to the Cape York to visit certain tribes up there, and let them know that we're meeting at a certain area at a certain time of the year. So that person would be given a message stick. And that message stick would have writing on it. Not writing, but messages on it. Small incisions, lines, dots. basically letting that person know. Anyone that can read it was the elders of all the tribes. We're all connected spiritually, basically. All elders around Australia had that universal connection with them. They had that own language that they spoke as well. So basically what would happen is messages on here. If you walked into another man's area, another man's land, sometimes you could get speared or killed. But if you showed them this here, they were then taken in front of the elders, and the elders would read it, and he'd tell the whole tribe, leave this man alone, he's on a journey. He's on a mission and he needs to do this. And everyone would just leave him alone. As long as he carried around that message to them. So that's a significance in that as well. And also if you put a string on this one here, it turns into a bull roarer. Bull roarer is like a message stick. But say if you woke up late one morning and you knew there was a hunting party in front of you, to get a message across to them, you wouldn't sing out because they might be just ready to hit that animal. If you sing out, that animal's going to run away. So you use the bull roarer with the string, it produces a sound, a whining sound, so the people would hear that. And they just simply do theirs, spin theirs around, letting them know, letting you know whereabouts they are. Just simply walk towards that animal and walk towards that party. That's by putting a string on the bull roarer. So any questions, folks?
Did you do most of your hunting by the trees, climbing the trees, or?
No, we very rarely climb trees. The only time we climbed the trees was when there were certain animals up there. It could have been certain bird season time, so they would climb the tree. Or only other time they would climb trees is for honey, wild honey. And how you find wild honey in the old days, what the hunters used to do is grab that little honeybee, take a bit of hair out of their head, put a bit of paint on that hair, stick it in the bee and let the bee fly away. About 5 or 6 hunters would then trap that bee because they could see it because of the hair having paint on it. They follow it. When it comes up to the tree there, they simply watch. If they spot any other bees hanging around or they spot a bit of black sap, then they're going to climb that tree. There's the honey up there.
You get pythons in this area?
Yes. One of the main snakes in this area is a python. Non-venomous, so they're pretty cool. We spotted one about 2 weeks ago. He was about 3.5 meters. Had a big belly about big, so obviously just had a feed. That was the right time to go hunting him. Yeah. When he's had a feed, he's very sluggish. So that's how we waited until them snakes, big snakes like that, had something to eat. Because to hit him with nothing in his belly, he's pretty hungry and he's very aggressive. So yeah, we did hunt snakes. Yep, pythons. Yeah. We get pythons up to 5 meters, I think. I think the longest recorded was 7 meters, 7.8 meters. So they do get pretty big.
So they're quite common, or they'll be rare?
Yeah, they're quite common. They're quite common. But it's almost like if you sit around and wait patiently, you might have the opportunity to see it. Yeah. It's all about just being in the right place at the right time. Because a lot of them, they're nocturnal. They won't come out until night time. Yeah, so we're right. Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Most snakes, they're not going to harm you. They don't want nothing to do with you, really. It's only if they get cornered, or if you're going to go run up and try and catch him, they're going to react. So, yeah. If you just stand around, if there's one in front of you, that's why I would carry around a stick. If I just give him a bit of a poke there, he's going to take off. He's not going to try and fight me, because I'll win. Yeah, if it's not a taipan, that's for sure. Yes, we do get taipans, but not in the rainforest, just on the edge, because we do have a lot of sugarcane around. And the taipans always hang around for the rats and bandicoots. Yeah.
When y'all went hunting, did you all decide you were going to go as a group? And number 2 is, did you then just put the food out in the center and everybody was able to feast off of that, or is it family? People would represent.
Well, we were governed by our tribal elders. Tribal elders set about our daily routine. So basically, we didn't sit around doing nothing. We were always doing something. When it come time to eating, the elders would get the first preferences, They come down to the kids. So yeah, but everyone did get a feed. Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't you all represented your family and somebody else.
Yeah.
The food would go and individualize it.
Yeah.
They just put it in the center and then.
Basically, yeah, that's what would happen. Everyone got not so much an equal share, but everyone got a feed. Most of the time, we only ate about that much, very little. We only needed enough just to survive, not to. That's why you see a lot of photos, old photos of rainforest. When we cut it down, we use termites. Termites, they love to eat wood, so they hollow the wood out for us. We don't do any work to it. All we simply do is strip the bark back and put beeswax on top. Beeswax is for the comfort of the lips. If there are any blockages that are left behind by the termites, we simply take it over to the fire there, hot coals, do the rest of the job. Long sharp stick, and jab it down, it's slowly going to burn right through. So it's a burning process and termites, but termites do most of the work for us. We won't find the termites in this area here around the rainforest. We have to go over this hill here in an open plain area, drier country. Where we find the hardwood, we're going to find the termites. There you go, one and one.
Do the tribes eat the termites?
No. Termites weren't eaten, but we utilise their nest. We can use their nest like you go to out in the west there, Laura. They used to use the big termite nest as like a ground oven on top of the ground. So they basically cut a hole in it, build a fire inside the nest. They were also used in caves as well, just like having a heater. Sometimes what they would do is build a fire and put rocks all over that fire, cover it all up. The rocks will get hot, especially during the night when it's pretty cold. That's going to keep the heat.
So do you see with all the didgeridoos now that for sale commercially around the place, are they all made in that way still?
You'll find a lot of them are, but what you do is look out for there's a sticker that they've introduced called the Aboriginal Authenticity sticker. Look out for that sticker because then you'll know it's been done traditionally. We had a major problem probably about 8-9 years ago. There was a shop in Cairns that used to get all their didgeridoos and everything from Indonesia and sell it in Cairns at high prices until they were found out. That's why they introduced this sticker. It just because you're actually paying for the art and you're actually paying for the artist himself who's actually done all these things up. So that's why you see the instruments are pretty expensive because you're paying for the artwork really. But
Does size matter?
Yes, size does affect. This is probably your average length of a didgeridoo. You wouldn't find too many longer than this one here. Just made it a lot more harder to blow through, to play, because it'd have a very earthy, deep sound. The shorter it was, very high-pitched sound. And also the wood and how hollowed out it was another factor as well. Okay, you're learning how to play the instrument now. There's 4 techniques. First one, you vibrate in your lip. For your basic sound, vibrating. Second technique, hardest technique, is cycle breathing. That's when you're breathing in through the nose, blowing out through the mouth at the same time. Regulate this by using the cheek muscles. Inflate them with air, push the air out, then breathe in through the nose. Sound simple enough? Yeah, it is. A really good player play for as long as he likes. The third technique is the voice box. All the noises will come from here. Wow. The fourth and the final way, to make rhythm, we use our tongue. By flicking it up and down, side to side, in and out, we create rhythm. Put all the four techniques together, you can play the instrument. That's the didgeridoo. The instrument is not traditional to this area. It's only through trade and barter that we have the instrument here. It's originally from the top end of Northern Territory, Western Australia area. My grandfather's tribe was probably about 500-600 kilometres up in the Cape York Peninsula area. Even still today, the instrument has not made its way up there yet. One of the main reasons why is they are very traditional people. The instrument is not a part of their culture. That's why they have not accepted it yet.
Will they accept it in the future? Or?
Could be, but I don't think so. I think they're basically set in the way they are today.
Skip, I heard Madonna blew into one of those and it caused quite a stir. Is it true that women are not supposed to play it?
Although women don't play the instrument, they play a very important role in making it. So some of them do the taking of the bark, some of them put their paint on it, and some of them they get the beeswax as well. They go out and get the beeswax, so they play a very important role. Well, one of the main stories I was told for that there is this comes from Arnhem Land, where the instrument is very traditional. The ladies were actually out hunting one day, and they come across the instrument. There was a piece of wood on the ground, and there must have been some bees or flies in it. They were flying around, they created a sound. So they thought it was magical. So they went and picked it up, taken it back to the tribe, given it to the men as a present, and the men have accepted it and kept it as their own. Yeah. And it's a strong belief too that if Indigenous women do play it, they will either fall pregnant and have problems with their baby, or not have any babies at all and be barren. So it's that spiritual thing, all about respect as well, and understanding, and about law, and their role in everything together. So like I said, we are very spiritual people. We believe we have two sides to us, a physical and spiritual. What we did just then, walk to the rainforest, that's the physical side. Spiritual side is for night time. That's why we do a lot of our dances at night, because we believe we can connect a lot more easier with our ancestors at night.
Do you do anything, to uphold that tradition yourself?
Yeah, what I'm doing here today. Like I do this during the day. I do this 5 days a week. And also I tell stories 3 nights a week. So I do that at a place called Flames of the Forest. Just past Port Douglas there, a place called Marlborough Valley. Me and my brother started that concept up probably about 12 years ago. I'm still running today. So I don't consider this to be a job, even though I get paid for it. It's something that I love, something I love doing. I love talking, and I love teaching people about what I got taught. That's why we have an oral history. So it's always good to learn something new each day. It's all good to go walking through the rainforest and looking at a tree and go, oh, that's a nice tree. That's a nice tree. But if you have a bit of an understanding what that tree is all about, then you appreciate that tree a lot more.
Skip, I gather that respect plays a big role in your culture. Are there certain traditional signs of respect and disrespect?
Yes. One of the main ones was always respect your elders. Anyone older than you, you have to show them respect. Respect is not earned, it is actually given. A lot of traditional ways is, like, we don't enter into certain sacred sites because we know that we can get sick or we can get punished for that. If someone finds out, say that we went to a sacred site, or if we jumped in that pool there, the ladies' pool, if we jumped in there and one of the elder ladies found out about it, she would walk up to you and let you know that you did wrong. And there's nothing more scarier than having older people, especially older ladies, argue with you. Yeah. Especially when you're with people around you. It's like a shame job to get growled by the elders. And like you take that in, it's like, oh, I did wrong, and you feel that straight away that you did wrong. So it's all about understanding, really, and showing respect. Alrighty, all good.
This has been wonderful.
Okay, folks, might just end it off here by saying thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed my company. Certainly enjoyed yours. I hope I gave you a better insight into the Aboriginal ways in life in the rainforest here. Hope you have a fun and safe holiday in this part of paradise. Hope you have a safe journey back to home, wherever home is. And I hope to hear and see you guys once again in the near future. So enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your holidays.
Thank you.